No respect for law. Another reason why a society gets corrupt is that, generally speaking, you find that people have no respect for the law of the country. This we might have discussed earlier in the case of an individual's tendency to be corrupt. Well, this is equally true for the entire society. The law of the country is actually the system within which the society is expected to operate. The laws are the four corners within which all participants have to play their respective roles. The law of the country is our custodian. It defends our interests against the interests of others. We are all living in a society where we are all pursuing our personal goals. But in doing so, sometimes there is a danger that we overstep and violate the rights of others. It is the law of the country which helps in ensuring that the rules of the games are followed and nobody is able to exploit the others. So, without a law, a society is in chaos. If people are not taking it seriously, if they are not following the law, then there is no basis that will help in enabling people to know how to operate and where to stop, where not to go beyond the limit, which, if crossed, is going to cause harm to others. So law is very important. Now, leaders should be the ones who should play as role models for the society. They ought to demonstrate first and foremost that the law has to be respected. Most certainly, there are other role models as well. Parents for the children, teachers for their students, and celebrities for people who follow them. Everybody should play a role in ensuring the law has sanctity. It cannot be violated. And it should be demonstrated that no one is above law. All people living in a society, in a country, are bound by a law which everybody must respect. For that purpose, we must educate. Education is important. Education would help students, youngsters know that nothing is allowed to be done that goes against the law. So the respect for law has to come right from the beginning, from the family, from the schools, and other educational institutions. That really means that the law should be respected and followed diligently in all places where this education is to be imparted. There can be nothing more damaging, detrimental to the cause of learning than the fact that what is being taught is being violated practically. So, education has to be done in a manner that while words are spoken, those spoken words are taken seriously and followed as well. There is a problem with many religious people when it comes to the question of the law of the land. They claim that it is only God's law that needs to be followed, and any law other than God's law is against God's law, is against the expectations of the Almighty that we should follow it. It is a law coming from non-God institutions which must be violated. That is something dangerous because religion plays a very important role, and it needs to be clarified that the Almighty has Himself mentioned that believers have to follow God and the Messenger, wa ulul amri minkum. That is, those who are in authority. The law of the land, the system, has also got to be followed. The Almighty has therefore made it clear to all of us, while we are saying our prayers, are giving zakat and doing everything that is the religion requires from us, we have got to also stop at the red light. We have also got to do whatever the system is commanding us to do. It is a part of the requirement of religion, of Islam, of the Quran that we do it. And if there is a question in the mind of somebody that this law of the land is running against the law of Sharia, of the Almighty and His Messenger, then the Almighty says in the later part of the verse, فَرُدُّوهُ إِلَى اللَّهِ وَالرَّسُولِ, then you refer it to God and His Messenger. That is, there should be some judicial system where the appeal should be made and the law should be made according to the law of the Almighty. But before that, the law of the land has to be followed. So long as there is no verdict against the law and it is not changed, it has to be followed by all individuals without any exception.